Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahushai. Kal halalim na Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, bishops, of great millstone, and shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the prophets of the affiliate camps, and give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah HaKodash. I was just thinking about the psychology of why people watch horror movies. And what kind of mentality do you really need to watch a horror movie? You know, that there are those people that live in a very perfect lifestyle. They have a perfect lifestyle. They live in a very safe neighborhood. Things go right for them most of the time. They don't really go through a lot of trials and tribulations. And there's also, which are the Edomites, of course. They're going through the trials and tribulations right now, and they're going to get worse. But for the from the since horror movies, the real extensive hardcore ones have been coming out from my memory, in the 70s and 80s and all that, and 90s. Some real horrific stuff that they put online. I'm not really into them. That's not really my thing. I think this world alone is a horror movie altogether. So Jakes that are that go through the trials and tribulations don't really need to watch a horror movie. These kind of horror movies are usually for people that are thrill seekers. I sometimes find it quite surprising that an Israelite would be into horror movies. But then you got some Jakes that do watch it just to see, just to sort of like be at the edge of their seat. And a lot of them sometimes like it because, you know, they want to feel, the adrenaline of a different scenario instead of a gun pointed at their head or being worried about a drive-by or getting jacked or whatever. That's Jake in the Hood, Northern or Southern Kingdom. They want to worry about, Sandman or, I don't know, who's that guy, man? The one who the one you say his name in the mirror 3 times or whatever, or 5 times. Candyman, yeah. They want to worry. They want to have that, a different kind of adrenaline rush. But for the most part, these these movies are watched by people that are, they don't believe in the Most High, but they believe on the left hand side. Not knowing that Yahweh Bashem Hashai controls the left hand side. He is the author of the right hand side and the author of the left hand side. Yahweh Bashem Hashai controls everything, pursuant to Isaiah 45 verse 7. All right, but what I'm trying to get at is the so-called white man. He loves horror movies. They love horror movies. They go to these what do you call them? These like you got Trekkies and you got people that are in people you got Trekkies and people that are into Star Wars and all that. They wear all the get up and the clothing. Like the characters from these specific movies. You got Edomites, right? A lot of mainly Edomites. All right, especially these Sodomites, right? They are into horror movies and they like to dress up as characters and Halloween characters, and they pretend to be so-called Christians, wacky tacky Christians, but they're into Halloween. The reason why the Esau, the so-called white man, is into horror movies such an extensive level, and it's a really huge part of their life. And if you look at most horror movies, 90% of them are centered around Edomites. All right. This, like you got the movies like The Poltergeist. If you recollect the movie The Poltergeist that came out in the 80s, there was a young child in there with blonde hair. Apparently, that child died, and they say certain things happen. But if you look into read in between the lines and through the spirit, that child more than likely got possessed because this world that we live in is on a satanic vibration, and they actually conjure up demons to go into people to behave a certain way, and certain things do go actually what they call bump in the night when in these movies. Like they made that movie Passion of Christ, right? But what they did in Passion of Christ, I think they used an Israelite woman to play Mother. Is it Mary or Miriam or one of them? What they use, Edomites use is, or the Amalekites, the small hatters. A lot of them make movies where slave movies or biblical movies, but they use the same image they're pushing, which is a so-called Edomite Caucasian image. But what they use, which is through the spirit, I've been reading into it. They use Israelite actual Israelites that look like Edomites to play. They might use them to play so-called Jesus, like in Passion of Christ. I believe that guy's a Jake, and I think his mother. I believe I haven't watched the movie as a whole. I think they used some lady called Bellucci or something, some Italian lady, and she's Jake. She's Southern Italian. you know, so because they know what they're in the last days and they know things are gonna happen, so they are not gonna. They're worried about so-called repercussions happening on the set. So they actually use Israelite foreigners that look like white people to play these biblical characters, but they play it in the Edomite image. Monica Bellucci. That's it, Monica Bellucci. Let me just see who she played. Monica Bellucci character in Passion of Christ. Monica Bellucci, a very she played Mary Magdalene, right? Yeah, and Jim Caviezel, more than likely Jake. Okay, and Mary was played by Mia Morgenstern, who's Romanian, and most Romanians, for a good portion of them, are Israelites also. All right, Bulgaria. Yeah, he played Saint Peter. See, if you look at them, I would say at least 4 out of the 5 characters here are definitely Jake. If you look at that, the reason why they do that is because they're worried about if they use actual real Edomites, real crackers on the set and who are playing biblical characters, right? Even if they're playing them in the Edomite image, I think actually use real, authentic, organic Edomites. You know, they're worried about the Most High just striking everybody dead there and then because they know what time it is. It's like the movie. What's that movie, man, with Samuel L. Jackson? Django. Who's a slave master in that movie? Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo DiCaprio is an Israelite, but his mother is Swedish. She's blonde haired, blue eyed, so he doesn't look like a Sicilian, I believe, Sicilian or Hispanic father, right? So Leonardo's more than likely a Judite, but he's Jake anyway. So they actually use an Israelite as a slave master, right? And if I've been looking at that, and even the movie with John Travolta, which is White Man's Burden, you can Google it. I believe it came out in 1995. John Travolta is playing basically the reverse. He's playing the white man that's under the curses because it's a world where the so-called black man is on top, right? But they use John Travolta as a so-called white man, and John Travolta is a Jake, right? If you look at it, they usually use Israelite foreigners to play the white counterpart in movies. Why? Especially nowadays. In the older movies, no. But since the 90s, they've been using Israelite foreigners. Why? Because Esau knows that something could happen, you know? So the way they try to balance it out is, okay, yeah, we'll use so-called white people, right? But we'll use Israelites. So, you have Hashem Shai, or the Most High, won't do something drastic on the set, you know. Obviously they bow down to Satan, but they know, but they're so retarded that Satan is controlled by Yahweh Shemel Shai, pursuant to Isaiah 45 verse 7. That's just my little touch on this uh, Passion of Christ. But let's go back to the horror movies. Edomites, man. Let's just go to scripture here, man. Psalm 73 verse 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So if you're not being gunned down in the hood, you're not having, 100 and, damn near 50 interviews just to get a damn job. You're having all these numerous interviews, but you're not getting secured in a job, you know? But you see all these corny Edomites getting the jobs that you have, and you're more than qualified, if not overqualified, but you're not getting it, all right? You have to jump over hurdle after hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, you know? One thing's going okay, next thing something goes wrong. Something's always going wrong. And if anything's going steady for a little while, it's only for a short duration, you know? You're constantly plagued. You're constantly under pressure. You're constantly sweating. You're constantly worried about being pulled up by the police. You know, things could be okay, or you might have you might be driving and you might forget to put your seatbelt on, and you see a blue siren, and it's going the other way, and you start shitting your bricks, thinking, "Oh man, what have I done now? What are they going to do me for?" Especially being a so-called black man in America and in the UK, right? You're constantly worried about going to a certain neighborhood or a certain area, especially in the States. Even in the UK, you might go up north, and it's a complete cracker area. You know how Edomites do. They don't really want to fight you one on one. They'll gang up on you, like they did. When they used to lynch Israelites. Like 100 of them against one so-called black Hispanic or Native Indian, and then lynch you. You know, you're constantly under pressure. You're constantly under the curse, and that's because due to the curses. And then if not, you're worried about other nations, especially the so-called white man. You're worried about your own being in a gang-affiliated neighborhood, growing up in a gang-affiliated neighborhood. You know, you're constantly under pressure, and these are just some of the curses I'm talking about. But the so-called white man is not in trouble like that. Life is hunky-dory. Everything goes well. They graduate university or college or whatever, or leave high school. They get a good job. They're young. They're in their 20s or mid-20s. They're already in a managerial position, or maybe, like I don't know, an area manager or a store manager on a decent salary. They might be like 22 years old, 23 years old. You know, they might get like a recommendation from their dad or whatever. You know, they grow up in an environment where there's a two-parent household. You know, they date Peggy Sue on a Friday night. The white picket fences. Everything's lovely. You know what I mean? Everything's lovely. They're not in trouble. They're not plagued. This is the reason why um, Esau likes this horror movies, because their horror movies yet to start. Some of them are feeling. A lot of them are homeless, just strung out on meth and drugs and stuff like that. They're sleepy on heroin on that. The curses are flipping. Deuteronomy 30 verse 7. The curses are coming on them. But a lot of them are still living so-called, you know, um, you know, they're living, what Esau likes to say, high on the hog. But we don't use that term. You know, the hog is something that the heathens eat. Nobody should eat that, but that's Esau's favorites. They're living deliciously. Esau is. You know, that's why they need that adrenaline rush. They like to jump out of planes. They like to, bungee jump. They like to rock climb. They're outdoorsy people. They like to hack up animals and put their heads on walls. Um, they like to do everything depraved and everything disgusting and everything against nature. They call good evil and evil good. Paraphrasing the scripture there, and this is their nature. These movies, show you what they're about. They show you what kind of frequency they're on. Or Edomites, what kind of frequency what they get off to. They don't like to have just regular sex with a woman. They like to choke the bitch. They like to asphyxiate. They're like that. They don't like to just go up in a woman. They want to go be in the back door, which is some foul ish. They just do everything against nature. They don't want to deal with their own wife. They want to let another man deal with their wife while they watch and record and get off to that. They're weird people. They're naturally ABCD people. They're naturally a vine of Sodom. Paraphrasing scripture there. That's their nature. And everything goes hunky dory for them. This is the reason why they're on this kind of frequency. They like to get that adrenaline rush, and then on top of that, they are evil by nature. Hence the reason they like to watch these kind of movies. They have a wicked nature. What kind of people destroy the whole planet, destroy nature, destroy the air you breathe, destroy the food. They don't even give a shit about their own people. They destroy their own so-called white people. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. Michael Jackson's, Michael Jackson said they don't care about us, but Esau don't care about his own. Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not him, who is it? Who's the wicked? It sure as hell ain't the Arabs. They haven't pushed the Arab language on across the four corners of the earth. Nobody wears a damn towel all the time. They just got their little blessing in in West Asia, having the oil and living in tax-free countries like Dubai and all that kind of thing. Isaiah 45 verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. The Most High Yahweh Hashem Mashai controls everything. Do you understand? And the Lord created, the wicked for the day of evil. Who are the wicked? They're the heathen nations. All right. They're also some of the 2/3. The wicked Israelites are going to die on this side. They're going to be reborn back. It shows you how many Israelites are going to die, because the Israelites are going to be having babies like popcorn in the kingdom, man. They're just going to be popping out from the numerous wives and concubines the Israelite men are going to have, the chosen, whoever they are across the four corners of the earth. So that means a lot of Israelites are going to die, right? But the wicked, the main wicked, Satan's counterpart on planet Earth, is the so-called white man, the Caucasian, all right? The cave dweller, all right? The natural ABCD people. That's why they're so underpopulated, because they're naturally a bundle of sticks. Proverbs 16:4. The Lord Yahweh Shemashai hath made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. And that's the so-called white man, you know? All right? Even the wicked for the day of evil. One second. I ought to looked into why people like horror movies. People like horror movies for several reasons. Stimulation. Horror films provide an adrenaline rush and excitement. Novel experiences. Watching horror allows us to experience something different. Curiosity. We are intrigued by the dark side of human psyche. I mean, the so-called white man is dark anyway. You must have seen some of them videos online where, a lot of so-called white people like to molest young children. They're naturally homosexual by nature. Their vine is a vine of Sodom, paraphrasing the scripture there. They naturally like to have relations with their own kith and kin that are blood related. You know, they're just naturally foul by nature. Even when they have sex with a woman, they do it in a foul way. They don't do it in the normal way you're supposed to. You know, all right, that's their nature. They're the dark side. They're intrigued by the dark side of human psyche. Jake, the Israelite, black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, they're intrigued by the righteous side. You know, even though Jake doesn't have the knowledge, the knowledge. They have a form of righteousness, but not according to knowledge. Paraphrasing scripture there, right? But they, even though what they believe in is some BS, they believe in Caesar Borgia, Jesus, and the cross, having the cross, and Mother Mary in the house, and all these images, right? But they believe in a higher power, hoping to get goodness out of that, hoping to do the right thing, helping somebody, helping the poor, helping someone struggling, stuff like that. They believe in doing that. The so-called white man don't care. The so-called white man doesn't have pictures of Jesus on his wall, even though Jesus is a faggot and have nothing to do with the Lord, Caesar Borgia and all that, right? But they don't have to have that on the wall, because that's not their nature. They have a dark psyche. They have a dark nature, all right? Coping and control. Horror movies help us practice coping strategies and prepare for worst case scenarios. Esau doesn't have no worst case scenarios. Everything's being hunky dory for them. That's why a lot of them don't have coping mechanisms. All right, Jake goes through a few things. Jake might have a little, Jake might, might have a little drink, pray, go to sleep, and say, you know what, tomorrow's another day. Hopefully things will get better. Esau, the so-called white man, something goes wrong, they don't have no coping mechanisms. What do? They jump out the window, they delete themselves, and it could be something small as maybe they might have 3 yachts and they might lose 2, or they were on a £800,000 a year basic salary and it goes down to 4, or it goes down to 250. That's stress for them. So they'll jump out the window. I can't pay. I can't keep my lifestyle up. I got to get rid of the 7-bedroom house, with 4 bathrooms and all that kind of thing. I got to get rid of my triple garage home, or double garage home. They, all these things. They'll delete themselves. But Jake just deals with it. Why? Because we've been going through stress, man. We've been going through these things. We got to eat up like candy, man. Like Elder Apostle Rakayala would say, man. What does he say? Fuck the heat, F the stress, or whatever. Just deal with it. What you got to understand is whatever you go through is ordained by the Lord, man. Because Yahweh Shemashah says that man's goings are of the Lord. Then how can a man understand his own ways? There's no such thing as free will. If you think that you got control over it, okay, I'm going to take a right at the end of the road instead of a left. It was already ordained in the spirit. from your life path, your life story, your life, how the Lord has ordained your life to go, to take those certain routes. Okay, all right. If you were never meant to have a happy marriage on this side, and never was never meant to have that sort of happy home and a wife and children and a decent home and all that kind of stuff, it was never for you. You understand? It was meant for you to be a single father. Date a couple of women here and there. That's just an example. You understand? That's why Esau likes horror movies. Number one, they got a dark psyche. They're evil by nature. Okay, they're the wicked that were created for the day of evil. Look how their behavior is. Look how they treat the earth. Look how they treat people. Do they leave anybody alone? They expect people just to be their punching bag, especially the so-called black man. And then start saying, "Oh, what do they say about so-called black people? Oh, they're so. Oh, yeah. If a Jake beats up a cracker because the cracker called him the N-word, oh, they say, oh yeah, black people are so sensitive about the N-word. Like we're just supposed to just take this shit constantly just be under pressure, constantly take their bullshit, and we can't say a fucking thing about it. You know? But now the stresses are coming on you now, aren't they, devil? Huh? Because you haven't got no coping mechanisms. You love horror movies. Why do you love horror movies? Because this is you. This is you. This is you. Even so-called white people, right, tell their little children. You must have seen that video online floating about on Twitter, and she was the mother asked her son, "What do you do if you get lost?" The mother, the little white boy, the little Caucasian or Edomite boy replies by saying, "Find a big so-called black man." Why? Because even the Edomite, the so-called white mother, knew, right, that if her little boy is found by a so-called white man, that so-called white man is more than likely going to molest her or grape her child or hurt her child or delete her child. A so-called black man is going to not do that. So-called black, because so-called black man, Israelites, so-called black brown people, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, for the most part, have a righteous bone in their body. They're not evil by nature. I'm talking about Generation X, my generation. I'm talking about Gen Z are gone. All right. Yes, there's exceptions amongst them, but they're gone. All right. But for the most part, Jake is, when I say Jake, talking about Jacob, is going to help a little child that's lost. He's not going to hurt a little child, not going to hurt an old lady for the most part. They're not going to do all these things. And and they're not going to even hurt women. Jake is the first one saying, oh, that's a female. Don't hit her. No, that's a female. White people, so-called white people, Caucasian people are evil by nature. That's why, they gravitate towards these kind of movies because they have a dark psyche. And then on top of that, they like the adrenaline, and they like the pressure, they like the excitement because their life is perfect, right? If you watch all the movies from the 50s, man, watch all that Doris Day shit. Watch the show Happy Days. Richie Cunningham, and the Amalekite who plays Arthur Fonzarelli, acting like a Jake, I mean, he could be, but I don't think he is, Richie Cunningham, Potsy, and all that shit. We got that here in the UK in the 70s. We used to watch that, that apple pie shit in America. Watch their life, man. The Mother at Home, Howard Cunningham running some kind of tool store that sells hardware. He runs his own business. He comes home, Marion is there dressed up. The house is clean, food on the table. Children in line. Richie Cunningham's only problem he has is dating girls. That is the snapshot of Edomite so-called white man American life, and around the world where these crackers have ruled. But now that's coming to an end. Now they're crying and everything. Now all these horror movies are coming to life. They're coming to life now for these devils, man. They're coming to life for these devils. They're coming to life for these devils. All right, what does profane mean? Profane. Treat something sacred or with irreverence or disrespect, not relating to that which is sacred or religious, secular, of a person or their behavior, not respectful of religious practice, irreverent. They're basically ungodly, godless, impious, disrespectful. All right? They're secular. All right? Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. I mean, any nation that eats their meat blood raw, eats raw meat, do you think they're human? Any nation that kisses their dogs in the mouth and eats the food, lets a dog eat food from their hand, but doesn't wash their hands afterwards, but eats their food straight away. You think they're normal? Nobody does that except the so-called white man. They're profane and foul by nature, man. You understand? That's just their nature. They're really foul people, but on the movies and shows, they try and show them all clean and pristine when they're not even like that. You know? They just have an evil nature. That's the character of the so-called white man. But now the curses are coming on these devils, man. Deuteronomy 30, verse 7, and the Lord thy power, Yahweh Hashem Yashai, will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. Now it's coming on them. Now, all of these horror movies that they've been loving and watching, and Nightmare on Elm Street and all that shit, now it's coming. This is reality to them now, because the Lord said He's going to make, all their nightmares, um, you know, uh, come to reality, man. Paraphrasing scripture there. I've seen videos on Twitter, online and all that. And, you see like these dogs attacking Edomites and cats biting Edomites, cats biting the groin of Edomites, dogs attacking them, and other animals attacking them. What do you call them? Badgers attacking them, otters attacking them. Lions eating Edomites up. You just see like about Edomites getting judgment. You know, they're getting that judgment. Paraphrasing scripture there. Of wild beasts. You know, um, the Lord's making all these nightmares. I mean, the Lord's going to make all these images like this. Demons like this come out of the realms, man. Come out of the spiritual realm. On the left hand side, and these nightmares are going to be there for a lot of you 2/3, but also you crackers too, man. All right, you love all this kind of stuff, don't you? You like to get off to it, huh? You like to go to them shows that showcase certain horror movies, and that you like to dress up in costumes and shit. You know, this is going to be your reality soon, man. Your nightmares are going to come to pass. You like excitement because everything's gone well for you so far, huh? All this shit's going to come to pass, man. All right, all these nightmares are going to come to you. All right, the hell that you put upon everybody else is going to come on you. All right, this is your end. All right, nothing's going to go back to it. You can't. You can watch all the nostalgic shit online, movies from 40 years ago and 50 years ago and 100 years ago and back in the 1930s, and America was great back then. Oh, I was born in the wrong time. All that shit. We read your damn comments. Ain't gonna come back for you. Paydays are not coming back. All right, America's not gonna exist anymore. All right, nothing is gonna be good for you crackers ever again, and you heathens too. All right, this is the start of your ending, and it's only gonna get worse. All right, prepare to meet this Prepare to meet this entity. Prepare to meet this entity for real. You're gonna see these characters come to life. Just wait till the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai makes all these characters come and meet with you, man. All right. The Lord is gonna make these things come and see you, man. All right. You used to watch these movies for fun. This is gonna be your reality soon, man. Then in the kingdom, hey, it's gonna be hell for you for 1,000 years. Satan gonna be fucking with you there, boy. He ain't gonna be fucking with us, Lord. He ain't gonna be fucking with us, with the elect. But with you, it's gonna be messing with you hardcore. All right. Just wanted to sort of like talk about why certain people gravitate to these movies. And I used to think to myself, why does Esau, the white man, love movies like this? Then it made sense that, you know what, they don't really have problems. They don't really have issues. When everything's perfect for you, you're looking for that excitement. You're looking for that adrenaline. You're looking for that, scary side. So they sit in their safe neighborhoods and patrolled by Edomite police officers, and where they got like neighborhood, was it committees or whatever? Neighborhood watch, you know, gated neighborhoods. They feel all safe with their 100 guns and their storage of food in the basement and all that kind of thing. They feel safe. being under lock and key, sitting indoors in front of the fireplace crackling away on their big screen TVs and that, watching these kind of horror movies because they're looking for that excitement. But then they can turn the TV off and it's not there. You can't, you don't want to be able to turn the TV off right now, or the horror is going to come to life. All right, or the horror is going to come to life. You know, look. If you look at Esau, how he is as a person, their psyche, their lifestyle, how it's been, you know why they like these kind of movies. But now, what it is, all these things that they've been watching in the safety of their home are going to come and see them. Just wait when the hell breaks loose, and the Lord's going to make all these apparitions appear and all that kind of stuff. Edomites are going to meet people like this, entities like that. Satan going to be showing up like that, man. Demons are going to be showing, looking like that. You're in the dark and that, looking for food. You're hungry. You haven't eaten for 2 days. You're with your wife and children screaming, you crackers. And you're gonna meet this motherfucker. He's gonna show up saying hello. You might even meet what's his name, Freddy. You might meet Freddy Krueger, man. You know, you're gonna meet Freddy Krueger. And he's gonna come to you, devils, man. And I'm gonna leave it there. All praise to Yahweh Shem Yashai Bashim Rakakwadash. Shalom.